Alright, good day student. As you can see, you are required to find the sum of the series given that y is equals to 1 over 2 plus 1 over 3 squared plus 1 over 2 raised to power 3 plus 1 over 3 raised to power 4 plus 1 over 2 raised to power 5 plus 1 over 2 raised to power 6 until you get to positive infinity. You are required to find the sum. So the best way to solve this type of problem is to split it into two, as we have fractions in 2 and also fractions in 3. So split into two series with they have different sum, Sn1 and the Sn2. So for the first series, with first term a is equals to 1 over 2. We have 1 over 2 plus 1 over 2 raised to power 3 plus 1 over 2 raised to power 5. So this is 6, sorry, because they repeat. So plus 2 raised to power 5. So here we to find the sum of this series, we have to find the common ratio. I call it R. In this case, you have 1 over 2 raised to power 3 divided by, it's a division sign, 1 over 2. And this is the same as 1 over 2 times 1 over 2 raised to power 4 times the reciprocal of this, which is 2 over 1. So that 2 can cancel out to give us what? 1 over 2 raised to power, this is 2. So when you split this, you have 1 over 2 times 1 over 2 raised to power 2. So you have what? 1 over 2 raised to power 2. And 1 over 2 raised to power 2 is the same as 1 over 4. So the common ratio is 1 over 4. So in this case, R is equals to 1 over 4. We can find its sum using the sum to infinity of a GP, sum to infinity of a GP, sum to infinity of a GP. Sn is equals to A over 1 minus R. So from here you have the first, we say that the Sn1 for this series. So from here the first term is 1 over A, 1 over 2 divided by 1 minus the common ratio is 1 over 4. So the next thing is to simplify this work. From here it has 1 over 2 divided by 4 times 1 is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3 divided by 3 over 4. So Sn1 is equals to 1 over 2 times the reciprocal of this, which is 3 over 4. So in this case you have reciprocal of multiplying the reciprocal, you have 4 over 3, reciprocal of the second fraction, and this will give us 2 over 3. So we have gotten the first sum to be 2 over 3. So here we have Sn1 to be equals to 2 over 3. So the next thing is to solve for the Sn2, the second series that make up the entire series. So from the second one you have So here we have second series. This is R with A. I can call this one A1. So looking at it, is 1 over 3 raised to the power 2. 1 over 3 raised to the power 2, and that gives us 1 over 9. So we can call it sum n2, its sum. So we can now list it. In this case, we have 1 over 3 raised to the power 2 plus 1 over 3 raised to the power 4 plus 1 over 3 raised to the power 6. And this continue. Remember, this means continue to infinity. So that R will be equals to 1 over 3 raised to the power 4 divided by 1 over 3 raised to the power 2. So here we have R to be equals to, we can split this into 2. 3 raised to the power 2 multiplying 3 raised to the power 2 times the reciprocal 3 raised to the power 2. So this can cancel, and that gives us 1 over 3 raised to the power 2. In this case, we know that R is equals to 1 over 3 raised to the power 2 is 1 over 9. So we got the R for this term to be R to be equals to 1 over 9. So once we have done that, the next thing is to find the sum of the series. So the next is to find the sum of the series. So from here, we will still use the same formula, sum to infinity, to solve it. So from here, we have sum to infinity, Sn is equals to A over 1 minus R. So for the second one, Sn2 is equals to 1 over 9 divided by 1 minus 1 over 9. And from here, you have 1 over 9 divided by 9 times 1 is 9. 9 minus 1 is 8. 8 over 9. So that we have 1 over 9 multiplying the reciprocal. So this can cancel to give us 1 over 8. So that Sn2 is 1 over 8. So from here, you have 1 over 8. Sn2 is equals to 1 over 8. Now we have gotten the sum of the two different series that make up the given series. All you need to do is to sum the two sums you got. So in this case, we have that the sum of the given series x or y, as it's written, y is equals to Sn1 plus Sn2, and that gives us 2 over 3 plus 1 over 8. 2 over 3 plus 1 over 8. The LCM is 24. So 24 divided by 3 will give us what? 8. 8 times 2 will give us 16. 24 divided by 8 will give us 3. 3 times 1 will give us 3. So in this case, 16 plus 3 will give us 19 divided by 24. And that is the sum. So this is equals to 19 over 24. So the required sum is equals to 19 over 24. Here is where we stop today. Have any question? Please comment on the box below. For explanation, like and share. Click the notification button whenever I have new updates. You'll be the first person to be notified. See you in the next lesson. I hope you enjoy it. Bye for now.